It's an abbreviated edition of Patriot Focus today here on 790 The Fan. We've got the Big Ten tournament coming up in less than 15 minutes, so a very quick episode of Patriot Focus. We do want to remind you to get out and watch the baseball team play. They'll play Tuesday against Union at 4:30. They'll play Abingdon next Thursday at 6:30. Our next broadcast will be March 23rd, the next conference game, as David Crockett comes into McCamey Field to play the Patriots. We'll have Andy Hare along with our one-segment edition of Patriot Focus after this here on 790 The Fan. Here at 790 The Fan, we are your home for Patriot Focus and Sullivan East Sports. We're also your home for the Atlanta Braves. Spring training games at 6:05 Saturday and 1 p.m. Sunday here on 790 The Fan. For this edition of Patriot Focus, the rest of it actually, here's Principal Andy Hare.
Okay, Mike, thank you very much. Here we are on Patriot Focus here on 790 The Fan with some incredible students here that represented Sullivan County. It's a conference. It's 46 years old. It's been going on for a long time. They represented East. They got to make it to the main stage. They debated, did really cool stuff, but also they do a lot of cool stuff here at Sullivan East, and we're going to talk to them about all the things they're involved with. So one of them is no stranger to the show. Emily, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Emily Jacobs. I'm a junior here at Sullivan East High School. I'm a big part of our FFA programming, and I was one of the selectives to go to represent East High at Scopes Conference.
And that's awesome. Fantastic, and we're glad you did. And we also have a newcomer to the show, Mr. Will.
Hi, I'm Will Phillips. I'm part of Beta Club, National Honor Society, and Student Council. It was a pretty fun experience getting to go and do that, but yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the show here. We do this every week, and we like to highlight you guys because that's what it's all about. You know, bricks and mortar don't make up a school. The people's what make up the school. I say all the time how this world's asking for the best. That's what they're going to get, an East graduate, and I like to show everybody why I say that, and you all are big reasons why. Tell us a little bit about yourself a little more here. What are you involved in besides the clubs here, Will? I know you're very active. You're on the soccer team as well, and you play goalie. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I play goalie for the varsity team. I'm a co-captain with Jose, and we actually just finally won our first game, breaking our 57 winless streak, which was pretty cool. So that was pretty exhilarating, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it is because it's a new streak now. 1-0, baby.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. But what does that teach you to overcome that?
I guess you can't just let the past affect you, and you always have to try and strive for better every new chance you get. You can't just assume you're going to lose the next game. Even if this team's pretty good, you always have to try and do your best and come with it to an open mind, which I guess I took towards Scopes, which was a pretty good skill I have.
Yeah, you know, I saw a saying the other day. It says, if you failed, congratulations. Most people don't even try. So, and it sounds like you try. And it's not that you all are bad. It's just we started from scratch. It takes a minute to get going, and I love what I'm seeing out there. And I look forward to seeing all the great things you are going to accomplish. Emily here, we know you're an FFA. You're very active with that. What is special that's happening in FFA right now? I just left up there, and I saw some new additions here to the Patriot family.
Yes, so right now we're just beginning our egg sales, which are $4 for a dozen of eggs, and we actually just hatched our first round of eggs. So we have 2 little chicks that are first pipped out. We should have 9 by the end of the week, and we're going to be selling those kind of like Tractor Supply almost, so definitely come by and see us. And then our plant sales start here soon, so definitely watch out on our Facebook to see whenever we start that.
Yeah, that's so cool. Awesome. So those little guys are so cute. I can't get over how big they are and being in that egg. Have you ever been part of something like that?
No, I actually haven't. This is kind of my first go-around with it, and we got the incubator from Gray, and we talked to him about it. I've done a lot of research. It only takes 21 days for them to grow into an entire chick, which is also flabbergasting. And if you leave them just at room temperature for 3 weeks, you can still incubate them. It's insane.
It's fascinating. That is so cool. And you know what's amazing is those are things that everybody used to do around here. But I'm glad we're keeping that, preserving that tradition and that heritage here in the East Zone. One of the other things we're looking at doing in preserving tradition in the East Zone is that's having high-quality people represent our community in local government, and that's something you got to participate in SCOPE. Well, can you tell us what SCOPE stands for?
Student Congress in Policies of Education, that's what it was.
It's like school boards, right?
Yeah, so we did a small mock board, or school board thing, like a mock debate, and then we had a bigger one later. But the main one was we got split up into 16 groups over all of the counties, all of the kids. And then within that single group, you guys had a prompt and you guys elected council members and then a superintendent to basically kind of vote on that. And then everyone else that didn't get voted for anything, they were basically just concerned citizens voicing their opinion. Which was pretty cool. And then after that, we went to lunch, and then we came back and decided what our prompt was and what we were going to, or who we were going to vote to represent our group with another pairing group that we had to work with.
All right. So what was your all's roles? What was yours, Emily?
So in the mock school board trial, I was actually the chairman of the entire school board. And so I got to present the rules that we were voting on. Mm-hmm. And I think the prompt was moving art budget to CTE budget. And so we had to listen to concerned parents and stuff. And it was nice to hear everyone's opinion. And then we took a vote on it. And we also got to vote in a superintendent of schools and got to see how that was kind of done. And my topic that I was chosen to debate about after we did our vote before lunch, and it came down between 5 candidates, and then after lunch, I was selected to be our debate topic, or our debate speaker up on the stage. So my topic was about how the ACT should replace the EOCs, which at first I really did not agree with, nor could I figure out how I was going to fight for something that I don't have any feeling towards. And so after talking with my fellow peers in my group, we came up with some really good pros, and we also came up with some cons. And now I kind of have more of an open mind towards the subject, and I understand a little bit more of how it could be better for us. But at the same time, I'm still kind of on the fence about it.
And that's okay. Yeah, just because you don't agree with it doesn't mean you have to hate it. You can see the both sides of it. Yeah. William, what about you? What was your role?
So for the mock board, I'm pretty sure we had the same prompt, but I tried to run for the superintendent, but unfortunately I didn't win that vote. But I think that was beneficial towards me because I was able to talk a lot more and voice my opinion on the subject. Dale is what his name was. He was our main teacher, and it was $250,000 from an art class towards a CTE, and just for the sake of debate, he said the demographic was 50-50, so 50 people, 50% wanted it to stay and the other half didn't. So it was really good to I guess not be the superintendent, because then you can debate a lot more, because you really can't have an opinion when you're up on the council, especially being the main person having to vote on it. You don't really have the opportunity to say your opinion because it's not really yours. But I think it was really fun. We actually voted before we went to lunch, since we ate a little bit later than some of the other groups. So I was voted before we went to lunch, and then I was kind of stressed out a little bit, thinking oh my goodness, I've never done this before. But I think it was definitely worth it. It was an eye-opening experience of seeing opportunities, and I felt, I guess, I just carried myself better towards it.
Sure. Has it opened your eyes or maybe changed your perspective on how local governments work?
Oh, yes, it has. So I didn't really have an understanding of how our school systems work and how laws are voted in. It's not really been something I've been too concerned about. But now that I realize how much of the community has a voice in certain rules.
100%, yeah.
Yes, and how even our school board members get to kind of speak their own opinions about it. And I truly understand it a lot better, and it's something that I really needed to understand a little sooner, so that way if I have an opinion on something, I can just present it instead of just kind of sitting in the back with my hands held down. That's Dr. Palmer even told us when we were at dinner the night before. He said there are 2 students whenever you go into this. One of them just sits back and they take and they take and they take. And he said we've had a couple of those students, and then he was like, but the other students, they'll stand up and they'll talk and they'll try everything they do just to be up on stage and present themselves. And he said they are the students that take the most out of it. So I definitely took that to heart and really tried my best to stand out and get up on that stage.
Well, and I know you all didn't disappoint, for sure. So did it impact you, William?
Yeah, definitely. We actually attended a real school board meeting last night, which was pretty cool to see. I've never been to one of those. It wasn't as crazy as like a football game, but it was definitely it was cool to see something like, I guess, official sense that actually does affect you, and you're there to experience it. I ran for the superintendent. I didn't win that, but I knew I couldn't let that affect me, and I still wanted to run to maybe win the debate and be on there. My prompt was, should you be able to substitute a club sport for your PE credit, which I thought was pretty cool. So I was on the pro side for being able to do that, and we actually won our debate. But one of the main reasons me running for the actual debate team was that this is like a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Exactly.
I'm not going to be able to do this next year, so why not try? And I mean, I won by one vote, and I just skimmed by.
That's so cool, though.
But
you won.
Yeah, it might have been crazy, but I think it was better than seeing, like, I couldn't just let Emily do it by herself. I had to challenge her, but it was pretty fun. It was cool to be up on that stage in front of all those people, though.
And you handled it well, didn't you?
Yeah.
You mentioned that you did it because it's once in a lifetime. Well, everything you do is just once in a lifetime. So you see something out there, you want to go get it, go take it. So in the future, will you all be running for any public office in your lifetime, you think?
I don't think I'll be running for a public office, but I do know that I'm wanting to be the ag teacher here at East. And
okay.
Yes, having that experience, seeing what the school board does for teachers and students, it definitely kind of is a big eye-opener, and I think it'll definitely help me in my future.
Yeah.
I think doing something maybe at a smaller level is my thing. Like, I don't know if I want to address, like, counties or states, that kind of thing. I mean, being in front of hundreds of people in that auditorium was, like, probably the scariest thing I've ever done. But like what Emily said, being a teacher, I think was pretty cool. I mean, that's, I think, my limit of talking in front of people that I really don't know. Sure. Especially, like, I'm in Mr. Cox's class right now, and it's really cool to connect with him because he's a great guy and that kind of thing. So it's definitely fun to have that relationship with your teacher and make the class enjoyable,
Well, I am so proud of you all. I'm impressed with everything you all do and thankful for all you all do for me here at Sullivan East, for the school, for the community, and how you represent your families. I can't wait to watch all the great things you all do with life. So thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day.
What a great group, aren't they? That's it for us here on Patriot Focus on 790 The Fan. Have a great day.